welcome to North Castle. Sorry for the awkward welcome, but we've been covered in ice for so long that we don't get many visitors.
Sorry, if you came to see the king, I regret to inform you that he is not here. He's away on a quest to find the great armor.
Oh my! I'm sorry we haven't introduced ourselves. I'm Armorer Isabel, and this is Sparky. He's not like other dragons you might have heard of. He does not breathe fire at all. He breathes ice.
Years ago, the royal blacksmith requested an armor dragon to help make armor for the king. I guess something was lost in translation because I'm not an armor dragon. I am an Arctic dragon.
The blacksmith tried to keep him around, but all the dust would get in his nose and he would sneeze, and then a blizzard would come. I try to help Sparky as much as I can, but whenever he sneezes, we all freeze. So next time Sparky sneezes, we all freeze. Have you met our court musicians? They're spectacular. Let's go to them right now.
Hi everyone, I'm Knight T. This is my apprentice Kay.
Hi everyone.
And this is my buddy Sparky.
I'm so happy to see you.
Achoo! Did you all freeze too? Have you ever heard of a dragon with a sneeze freeze? I haven't either. It's pretty amazing. Well, we've just traveled all the way here from North Castle to be with you for VBS, and we're so excited to be here. Before we move on to our next song, we wanted to teach you about something called call and response, and this is how it works. A leader will say a first line, and then you will repeat after. I say, you echo. Ready? Like this. I am awesome.
Awesome.
Got it. Now, in our Bible story today, there are some very strange, hard to say names. So we thought we would use some call and response to teach everyone how to say these names. Repeat after me. Shad, Rack, Shadrach. Great. Me, Shack, Meshach. Ready? The next one. Bed, ne, go. Abed, nego, Abednego. Got it. All right, there's one more, and this is the tough one. Let's see if you guys can get it. Ready? This is the name of the king. Neb, Neba, Nebacun, Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar, King Nebuchadnezzar, King Nebuchadnezzar. You got it. One more thing to teach you before we do this song, you need to know some dance moves. When we get to the chorus, the words are hot, hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot. Here are the moves that go with it. Ready? It goes hot, hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot, hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting, join us, hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot, one more time, hot, hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot. I think you guys are ready. Have fun. It's so hot.
It's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot. It's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot. It's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot. It's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot. Fire up the furnace. That's what Deb said. Throw anybody in it who won't bow their head and worship me.
never get tired of hearing from them.
So you may be wondering, what happened to the king and the Knights of North Castle?
They are on a quest.
Correct, my scaly friend. The king went on a journey to look for an armor far superior than any armor he has ever owned. So he's gone on a quest in search of this great armor. The king went in one direction and his trusted knights went in the other. Sparky and I have been tasked to stay here in case anyone returns triumphant.
Unfortunately, no one has returned yet. Tell them what you've discovered.
Oh yes, I've been reading the king's book, and I don't think the great armor is what the king thinks it is. This is just a hunch, but I found 5 riddles that might help us find the great armor, although it's in a language that I don't understand.
5 riddles? I thought you told me you discovered 5 pickles. I wondered why you got so excited about pickles. Let me see the first riddle. Hey, I know this language. It's an ancient dragon language. This riddle says, in order to find the Belt of Truth, you must study the fiery 1 + 2.
So it is true. The great armor does exist, and the Belt of Truth is just one piece. We just need to know where to look in the king's book. Maybe the riddle is a clue. Read it again, Sparky.
Well, the last time I checked the cold hard facts of math, 1 + 2 = 3. So, we need to study the fiery 3.
Fiery 3? Well, I do recall a story about 3 men that went into a fiery furnace. Could that be a story that we need to study? If we open the king's book, the royal players may show us the answer. Let's open the book and see.
Greetings, knights. I heard you are on a great quest to find all the pieces of armor. What an amazing and fun week this will be. I am Knight Alicia, and I am in the castle library. I'm here to tell you a story today from the great book, my favorite book, in fact, called the Bible. We are learning today about a story from the Old Testament in the book of Daniel. Wow, I really like that book name because my brother was even named after this book. His name is Daniel too. Last year, if you were in VBS with us, you learned about Daniel, who was thrown in the lion's den by a mean king. Give me a big thumbs up if you remember that story. Great. God saved Daniel from the lion's den, and the mean king learned that nothing can separate us from the love of God. Today, I'm going to tell you about another mean king who we just sang about in the last song. His name was King Nebuchadnezzar, which is really long, so the song just called him King Neb. This king, who lived a long time ago, thought he had a great idea. He decided to build a huge golden statue and told everyone in the kingdom that when they heard the instruments play music, they needed to bow down to this golden statue and treat it like it was a king. Not just a king, actually a god, to treat it with love and respect. Well, there were 3 people living in the land who loved our one true God very much. Their names were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I know, really different from the names you hear today. Anyway, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew something very important. There's only one true God, the one who made you and me, the one who knows our name and loves us very much. Isn't that great news? Anyway, back to the story. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow down to the statue because they knew that it was just gold. Not something that we need to show love and respect to. Well, this made King Neb very, very angry. Everyone show me your really angry face. Great job. King Neb was so angry that he decided these 3 guys needed a really terrible punishment. He decided to throw them into a extremely hot fire in the furnace. I know, so scary. Well, this is where Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are like Daniel in the lion's den. They decided they loved the one true God more than anything else. So they trusted that God would take care of them. And you know what? That's what happened. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego didn't get burned in the fire. King Neb looked in the furnace and saw 4 people, not just 3, and one of them looked like an angel. So God was with them and they were okay. King Neb found out they didn't get burned in the furnace and ordered them to come out. He was so amazed that he changed his mind about our one true God. He said, "Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent an angel and rescued his servants who trusted in him." Now, knights, I want to be clear about something. Fire is very hot and important to stay away from. I bet we've all learned not to play with fire. But this Bible story reminds us that no matter what bad things happen in our lives, God will be with us, giving us the strength to get through. God never leaves us. So even though we cannot see God, we can feel God in our hearts, giving us the love and strength to live each day. It also reminds us that we need to stand firm in the truth that we only have one God to worship, and we should not worship power or money or anything that takes our full attention away from God. Knights, I'd love you to armor up with this great truth. And now I have an example of what my son Andrew created from this story in Lego form. So you see right here, there's the King Nebuchadnezzar with his big kingly hat. And then we have the guards who were ordered to turn up the furnace really, really hot. And you can see the flame coming out of the furnace. And inside is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But wait, there's one more. There's an angel sent from God to protect them. And that's great news. I can't wait to hear more great news and share it with you tomorrow. Bye, Knights.
Come on, let's go find the Belt of Truth.
Oh, don't forget our banner verse. No knight ever goes on a quest without the banner verse.
Absolutely. Our banner verse comes from Ephesians 6:10. Be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. Soon to be knights, say it with me. Be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. It's time for a castle call out. Watch this to learn our sign. Hi Knights, it's time to learn your very first castle call out. Armor up, just like you're putting on a backpack. Armor up with truth. Do it with me. Armor up with truth.
Hello, Noble Knights. Welcome to Castle Crafts. I'm Miss Terry, your court crafter, and I've got some really awesome crafts for you to do this week. Today, you're going to build your very own knight. I'll show you how to do it in a minute, but you should do it later when you have a little bit more time. Keep your knight near you as we go through the days this week learning about the armor of God. I heard today's quest was for the Belt of Truth. Did you guys like that Bible story? I really did. I had never even heard those names before. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. Yeah, those were some really interesting names. But the best part of the story for me was how they stood up to the truth, even when it was really hard. They faced some pretty bad consequences, but they knew that God was going to stand with them, and so that gave them courage. So lately, I've been seeing a lot of people standing up for the truth. They've been working hard to make sure nobody's treated unfairly because of their skin color. Sometimes that's not very easy, but you know God loves everyone equally, and so he is standing with the people fighting for equality. Oh, now let's make our knights. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your base and you're going to curl it a little bit, but we're going to make the knight flat. So curl your base a little bit. It'll make it easier to fasten in the end. Then you can punch out all your knight pieces, and I like to lay them out so I know where they're going to go. You've got your helmet of salvation, your breastplate of justice, and today's quest was for the belt of truth. You've got shoes of peace, Sword of the Spirit, Shield of Faith, and a little tiny plume to go on the top. So the only tricky part of this craft is maybe peeling. And if you have a hard time peeling the stickers off, then just ask one of your parents or a sister or a brother. So you want to put your helmet at the very top of your base. Then you can put your breastplate of justice. You can put your belt of truth. Oops, see, sometimes the stickers are hard, the backs are hard. You put it right there. And you've got one shoe of peace and the other shoe of peace. What happened? Oh, here's my Sword of the Spirit. I'm going to put that right here. Now, I'm going to turn this around so I can see what I'm doing. Put the Shield of Faith right here. You guys can make it facing you. I was just facing it away so that you could see it. So next, you just curl your base around and you stick these tabs into their slots. If it doesn't stick, you can always use a little piece of tape. And there you have your very own knight. So my favorite part of VBS is getting to see you guys and getting to see your cool crafts that you do. And since we're doing this by video, I'm not going to be able to do that. So if you could do me a huge favor and send me pictures of you with your crafts, that would make me really happy. And I would just love to see that. So remember, guys, when you stand up for the truth, God will be standing with you. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Hi everyone, we are so glad that you could join us on our quest today. Today we read a story from the Bible, from the book of Daniel, chapter 3, about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire. In the story, God protected them from the fire, and God works in our lives to protect us too. Though it's a little bit different, because now we're protected by things like smoke alarms and fire extinguishers, and even people like firefighters. So today, in order to help us remember that, we are going to be putting out a pretend fire of our own. So for our science experiment today, you're going to need a few things. You're going to want a little piece of tissue paper, or regular paper works too. And I cut mine like flames so it will look like a fire. You're going to want just like a plastic cup. You're going to want some baking soda. I have a little measuring spoon. You just need a regular spoon though. You're going to want some markers in order to decorate your fire. Some tape. Some white vinegar, or you could use apple cider vinegar. I tried that too. And in order to keep things a little bit cleaner for mom and dad and for families, you're going to want to use like a cookie tray. You're going to want to put everything in a cookie tray that has sides that go up a little bit, just to keep all of the liquid inside the tray. It's a lot easier to clean up. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get ready for my experiment. So I am going to take my little piece of tissue paper fire and I'm going to color it. Now you, I'm sure, are going to do a much better job and you're going to take your time on yours, but I want to show you what this is going to look like because I'm really excited for the science part. So I'm just going to put some colors on my fire. There we go. So what I want to do with the fire, with my pretend fire, is I want to take it and you're going to tape it on the inside of the cup. So I'm going to put it inside. Okay, so it's not outside the cup, it's inside the cup.
I'm going to put it inside the cup, and then I'm going to tape it down so that you can still see it. So it kind of looks like flames are coming outside of the cup. Okay, my flames are still sticking out just a little bit. And then I'm going to get ready for the science part. So I'm going to take some baking soda, and you don't really have to measure it. I'm just going to put about 4 teaspoons in my cup because I want to make sure that you can see how this works. And then before I do the experiment, I'm going to make sure everything's off my tray so I don't get everything all wet. And then I'm going to pour the white vinegar into the cup on top of the baking soda. And we're going to watch what happens so that we can see if our fire goes out or not. So we're going to pour it in. And there it goes. So the baking soda and the white vinegar actually make a chemical reaction when they combine, which is what makes it kind of pop up and helps us to create kind of our pretend fire to remind us of Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego and how God protects us from the fire. God's kind of like our pretend fire extinguisher here, where once we put it all together and it kind of comes up, it protects us from the fire or from other things. So that is our science experiment for today. We would love to see photos or videos that you would like to send us about how your science experiment went and what it looked like. So thank you.
Do you know what that sound means, Sparky? That means it's time for trivia. Let's see if you know the answer to these questions about what we learned in VBS today.
King Nebuchadnezzar ordered people to bow down to the golden statue whenever they were hungry, they heard music, they were sleeping, they were in school. The answer is when they heard music. The banner verse is found in the dictionary, the ocean, the Bible, Ephesians 6:10, or cartoons. The answer is the Bible, Ephesians 6:10. Knights need to know how to make pizza, paint fences, play soccer, or ride horses. The answer is ride horses. Thanks for playing.
Knights, did you find the belt of truth?
I see that some of them are wearing belts. Maybe there's more than one belt of truth. Did you find those belts on the quest today?
I think they already had those on when we first met them. Besides, I think the belt of truth is a metaphor. It means more than just wearing a belt. Besides, you know what a belt is for, right?
Without one, your pants may fall down.
The belt was the first piece of armor any Roman soldier would ever put on. It held the clothes close to the body and helped all the armor stay together.
Why are you talking about Roman soldiers? These are knights of North Castle.
Good question. The Apostle Paul wrote a letter to the Ephesians. Paul was a Roman citizen and knew a lot about Roman soldiers. He used the analogy because the people in that time would understand it best.
Well, the belt is still a very important piece of clothing even today.
We can't stand up for what we believe in if we don't have truth. Remember in our story with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? They stood for truth. They would never serve Nebuchadnezzar's God or worship his statue, but they did stay true to their God.
And their God had the power to save. That gave them courage to stand up to the king.
Exactly. Do you remember our castle call out? Say it with me. Armor up with truth. Truth is one of the most important things we need to have.
Ooh, don't forget our banner verse.
Let's say it again. Be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power.
Be strong in the Lord in the strength of his power. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. When it feels like hope is gone, be strong, be strong. I will keep